Hi everyone, this is Greg Jimeno, attorney with Chesapeake Wills Trusts and author of the book, How to Protect Your Home and Life Savings in Maryland. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the asset requirement necessary in order to qualify for Medicaid. Okay, so one of the biggest things we deal with in our office is how we can get people qualified for Medicaid. So in other videos, we've talked about three ways you can pay for the nursing home. One is to self-insure, meaning you use your own assets to pay for the nursing home. The other is through long-term care insurance, if you have long-term care insurance policies. And the last way you can pay for a nursing home is for Medicaid. So don't forget, Medicaid is long-term care insurance provided by the federal government. Now, not everyone qualifies for Medicaid. There are a number of qualifications needed for Medicaid. There are financial and non-financial qualifications, but today we're going to talk about the financial qualifications for Medicaid. Now, in order to qualify, you have to have both an income and an asset qualification. From an income qualification standpoint, as long as your income is less than your cost of care on a monthly basis, you will satisfy the income requirement. So let's say that your nursing home costs $12,000 a month, but your income is $10,000 a month through IRAs, through pensions, whatever it is. You will qualify and meet the income qualification standard for Medicaid. Now, so you can see that's a pretty high standard for the income qualification. That generally doesn't trip most people up. Where most people get tripped up in terms of their qualification for Medicaid is the asset requirement. So how much money can you have in the bank or through your assets in order to qualify for Medicaid? Well, I have a whiteboard here, and I'm going to put on this board how much money you can have in order to qualify for Medicaid. So there are different requirements, whether you are a married person or if you are single. So I'm going to start with the single person requirement. Okay, so for a single person, you can only have $2,500 to your name in order to qualify for Medicaid. So we start with the single person requirement because that is the more stringent requirement. So what will Medicaid consider as part of your assets? Well, they're going to look at your house and the value of your house. They'll look at your bank accounts. Okay, whatever you have, checking, savings, credit union, Christmas club accounts, whatever you have, they're going to count those accounts towards your $2,500. If you have CDs at the bank, IRAs. When I say IRAs, I'm talking about IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, any type of money you have set aside in retirement accounts, those all get counted. If you have annuities at the bank or through a financial institution, any money that's in the annuity can be counted against you for Medicaid purposes, for asset purposes. So this is what they're going to count, all of these things. So we total up all of your assets and see whether you are at $2,500 or above. And this is where, if you are over $2,500, there's two things you look to do. One is to institute a spend down to get yourself to $2,500. And that doesn't mean you can just give away all of your assets and gifts and all these things to different people. We help clients come up with appropriate asset spend downs in order to get them to be qualified for Medicaid. The other thing we can do is for a certain type of asset protection. Even if you're in the nursing home, it's not too late to try to protect some of those assets to make sure they go towards family members, kids, grandkids, whoever you want money to go to do some kind of asset protection planning to help you get to that $2,500 level. So let's say that you're not a single person, but that you're married. So the Medicaid limits increase if you're a married person from $2,500 all the way up to $130,000 as a married couple. And the reason why there's an increased level for a married couple is that, let's say that the spouse that's in the nursing home is what's referred to as the institutionalized spouse. And then there is what we call a community spouse. The community spouse is a spouse who still lives in the community. Medicaid does not want to impoverish or make poor the community spouse. and it's $130,000 is the level that the government has decided is an appropriate amount for the community spouse to keep so long as they are still living in the community. Now, I'm filming this in 2021. I'm using $130,000. It's slightly higher than that. We're just going to round it off to $130,000. That number gets increased every year incrementally. It may be a $1,000 or $2,000 increase every year, but generally speaking, you get the idea. That's about $130,000. Now, if we have a community spouse who is still living in the house, then the value of the house will not be considered an asset for Medicaid qualification purposes. So even if you have a $350,000 or a $400,000 house, that house will be excluded, plus the $130,000 will be excluded as well. Let me take 1 second to talk about IRAs, and this is always a tricky one for married couples. Let's say the wife has a $1 million IRA and the husband has a $10,000 IRA. And the husband is the one that winds up going into the nursing home. Well, Medicaid, when they do their qualification, will assume all of the wife's IRA plus the $1 million, plus the husband's IRA, the $10,000, against the husband who is in the nursing home for asset qualification purposes. So again, this is where it becomes really important to get the proper legal advice if you have a spouse who is in the nursing home and trying to qualify to try either protect the assets or do an appropriate spend down so we don't lose everything to paying for nursing home care. So again, these are all the things we're going to look at. $130,000 if you're married, $2,500 if you are single. And there are two ways and really sort of two times that we can address the qualification for nursing home. One is in advance. Can we do some type of advance planning through trust planning, through perhaps some kind of gifting strategy to help make sure that there is some inheritance that goes to kids or other people. And the other time we can institute some type of legal plan is if someone is or about to go into the nursing home. Even if you're in the nursing home, it is not too late to try and protect some of those assets. We can certainly help with those things as well. So thank you very much for watching our video today, and I hope you learned some things about the qualification for Medicaid to pay for long-term care insurance in the nursing home. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, check out our description down below. We have links to, you can order a copy of my book and to register for a free copy of our online webinar. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.